Chris Christie is the governor of the state of New Jersey. Governor, it's always good to have you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming to New Jersey.
Scale of 1 to 10, where does the recovery stand right now?
Well, it's an 8 in some places and a 4 in others. So, it depends. Here on the boardwalk, people will see it as about an 8 out of 10 when they start coming here in June. But for a lot of the homeowners in the state, it's going to take the better part of the next year to get them back.
But was that the strategy? The strategy, get the business back on the boardwalk, get the tourism money flowing back in for the state's coffers, and have to put the other things off to the distance?
No, Matt. I think what it was this was the easiest one to get done first. The homeowner part is much more difficult because people have decisions they want to make about whether they want to rebuild, how they want to rebuild, how much they want to elevate. Here, it's pretty much a set thing.
So much coverage of the storm, so much coverage of the aftermath, so much coverage of the damage. Are you worried? I mean, when you think of how vital tourism money is to this state and your economy, are you worried that the tourists are going to have heard about all that and they're going to go elsewhere?
Well, yeah, we are. And that's why we're doing things like this. That's why we have a $25 million advertising and marketing campaign going on right now to let people know the shore is reopened. And for probably 80% of the Jersey Shore, Matt, you won't notice any difference at all from last summer. Where we're standing now, there's differences, and that's where we have to work over the next year.
You saw what happened down in Oklahoma on Monday, that devastating tornado that damaged so many homes. You have already come out and said you will support any amount of federal aid that the president decides is necessary to help those people recover. Would the fiscally conservative Chris Christie make that comment had he not gone through Superstorm Sandy?
I did. Yeah. I mean, listen, I think emergencies are a totally different thing. Americans help other Americans when we're in trouble, and that's always been what this country has been about, and that's what we need to do now. We never support irresponsible spending. That's why I said everything that's necessary to help them, absolutely, and we should be doing it quickly.
So much was made of the president visiting you here shortly after the storm. He's coming back on Tuesday to look at the recovery where it stands, and I know that's good for the state of New Jersey. But do you ever worry that another visit and more images of you two walking along the boardwalk will cook your personal political goose?
No, because I think that what people in my state want more than anything else is for me to do my job. And the president wants to come back here and see the progress and look at it himself. I never worry about that stuff. I worry about doing my job.
But if I'm the guy who's worried about 2016 and what you may or may not do, I might think if he wants to see recovery, tweet him some photos.
Yeah, no, the bottom line is you can't experience it as you're experiencing right now unless you're here and you see it for yourself. And the fact of the matter is he's the president of the United States, and he wants to come here and see the people of New Jersey. I'm the governor. I'll be here to welcome him.
I'm sure you heard yesterday the National Hurricane Center released its outlook for this summer's hurricane season. It's forecasting an extremely active season with 3 to 6 major storms of at least Category 3 along this area. How worried are you about that as a governor of a state that has so much exposed shoreline?
Listen, of course you're always worried, but I think we gave it the office last year, So I think it'll bypass us this time. Yep, I think any hurricanes will bypass us this year, but we'll be ready as we were last year if something happens. But of course we're concerned.
Earlier this week you said you don't think there's been any proof thus far that Sandy was caused by climate change. Several experts I've heard from say the destruction, though, from Sandy was probably more severe because of elements of climate change, including rising sea levels. Are you not willing to say that's true?
No, I'm not, because what did they say? First of all, this is their business. They study it, and they say probably, maybe. All I said was I haven't been shown any definitive proof yet that that's what caused it. And this is just, listen, this is distraction. I've got a place to rebuild here, and people want to talk to me about esoteric theories. We got plenty of time to do that later on and study that and to let me be more informed about it. But no, I'm not going to buy things, out of whole cloth, Matt. I'm just not going to, especially when they won't definitively say anything and it's their business.
Let's change subjects a little bit. As you stand with me now, you're a little bit smaller than you were the last time we stood together. Much talked about surgery for weight loss. How are you doing?
I feel good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel good. Things are going well, and I feel good. And, I think there's a lot of attention to it, probably more than I would have ever imagined. But, the fact is it's...
You really didn't think you'd get that much attention?
I didn't. But you know what? Listen, I misevaluated that part of it. But, at the end, it's really nice because when I talk to the folks who are here and people ask me, all they ask me is how am I feeling. And so I think most of it is born out of concern for me, and that's great.
Do you hope to inspire others? Do you hope there will be a so-called Christie effect down the road?
No, I hope there's a Christie effect for Christie, and if there's other stuff that happens for folks, that's great. But that's not why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm doing it for Mary Pat, for my kids, and for myself to be better and to be healthier. And, you know, if it inspires other people, great for them, but that's not why I'm doing it. And I'm certainly not going to be running around taking any victory laps no matter how well I do. You know, it's a lifelong struggle.
We're going to help cut the ribbon here to officially reopen the Jersey Shore in our 8 o'clock half hour.